All right. Ariana wants the tea. And since I'm in my dark feminine at the moment, I would love to give the tea. So I'm going to talk about each of the groups. Obviously, I've been to many different kinds of groups, but we're gonna focus on spiritual groups, and I'm gonna go through each one. So in the beginning, I was kind of anti groups, and I still am in the way because, like I said, I really, if you watched the last video, if anyone wants to see it, go through this. I'm a bit anti that because I don't think that we understand what groups mean. Again, I can talk about more what groups mean if you guys are interested. Probably Ariana, you could let me know if you're interested. Because I did talk about it in the video, but I can go into detail about what groups are and stuff. So I'm not really a fan until not only the person who starts the group understands this and the people understand it. And that's kind of the reason why I started a group, because I was like, okay, I don't think I could ever be a part of a group that is going to think this way at the moment. I looked, even when they were close. But anyway, so at first my group was TikTok. I was on TikTok and looking up all of the different types, if that's the best word for it, of people that were either studying or coaching or practicing spirituality. And none of them were for me. I felt very not, I didn't feel very close. And so I was like, I found this one person, two people actually. One was talking a lot about the left hand path, and there was another guy that was talking about this stuff that I had no idea what was going on. It was like this new stuff about guardian things and stuff like that. And there were some other people as well, but those are the main people who were like kind of, I'd say, like kind of doing a group thing, right? And apparently I didn't know. It was funny because I was watching their videos separately and I was in their comments talking to people, and it felt like a community and stuff. And I didn't know that they were having a problem behind the scenes before the person who was telling me those new things, not the one that had the left hand path stuff. They were really focused on that, and like it was very interesting to me because I didn't know why people put themselves on paths. So I really understood the right hand path. I was like, it's very obvious and it's in your face all the time, right? It's like Christianity basically. And even if something's, yeah, it's people who are like leaving Christianity as well. It's complicated. Anything where you divide stuff, it's always like it comes from those roots. And even that kind of is whatever. Anyway. And so there were some other people as well that were involved and knew of these. And it's so weird because this is how it happened. So it's kind of like a group, right? And so when we went into the group, I mean, it started the person. I don't want to say whether they're a guy or a girl because that will give it away possibly. But the person who did do it, they did it in a way that was on Discord, and it started out great, but they were fighting behind the scenes and telling each other that they're weird, and like one is like this is happens on spiritual talk all the time, where they accuse someone of being in a cult and the other person accuses them of being evil. And so that's kind of what happened in that. And it was really sad because I, on my own, liked all the people in the group because they were all like people that were already on TikTok. And so I thought it was fun. And before it even started, it was only open, like that community thing on Discord was like, I think it lasted like maybe a week. And then someone that was the partner of the person who started it got so freaked out about who was following who that they blocked me. And I was like, oh my God. And it was just very weird for me because it was still like that leadership thing where like the gatekeeping of like the good and the bad and all the stuff. And the whole time I was like, it was such an accident that I got started in that. Okay, so that was the first one. The second one, I was so lonely. In again, I couldn't find anyone to connect to because the energies that were coming to me and like things that were happening did not have anything to do with what people say. It didn't have anything to do with the Catholic, upbringing I had. It had nothing to do with any of it. So I had no reference other than myself, which now am happy about. But then I didn't feel that happy. I felt like a kid that doesn't fit in at school. And it was funny because then the next one was this group. I was actually complaining and sad about, I think it was about guys. I'm like, why aren't, like, I feel like this. And it was very sad. And this person reached out to me in the comments and says, we have this group. It was for that person, right? And the strangest thing happened is that person that came to me for that group, as soon as everyone came, they completely ignored why this person came to me in the first place and like why they got all the other people too. And they started all like their own agendas, and like it became like a normal group where everybody's randomly sharing. And I kind of liked it, but then there was this weird thing because I was like, that's a bit disrespectful to the person. And I was like, what's going on? It's so weird. So yeah, that's what happened then. And a lot of weird things happened. Like one of them got really mad and started like saying horrible things. And I can't remember like one of them was like really trying to do something for me or something like that. And then they just disappeared, and I don't know, it was weird. Anyway, so that was weird. And I was like, okay. And they like completely deleted it was a WhatsApp group. They completely deleted it. Then another one was basically someone who was trying to build something. And I started working with them as well. And my dream, this is the one I wanted to share the most. My dream, and I thought that this was the closest because I thought it wasn't going to be like a group like that. My dream was to always has been, find people who want to work on something or is specialized in things, and then everyone comes together and collaborates, like in a group. Not just a fun one where you're just hanging out group, like one where you literally share your stuff. And so you kind of show each other your blind spots, so you grow in that way. And then you also grow as a community group because then you can start, like let's say one person's specialized and obsessed with, I don't know, the history of women doing magic stuff, and then one is like me where I'm trying to help people go within and express themselves, and then another person's specialized in being they come from a medical background and they can heal and things like that. So I was telling the person this, and they were kind of like, okay, but like they didn't want to do that. They wanted it to be, again, like a thing where everyone's like fighting for power. And I'm like, no, that's not the point. Like, why are we doing this? We have so many structures already like this. Like, there's so many churches. But anyway, so that happened as well. And I think there's some other ones, but these are the important ones. So I'm going to end on that one. But that's what I realized with groups. And so whenever if you guys have any problems with stuff like that, that's why I'm pretty strict about our Discord. I make sure that people are expressing themselves in there because that's the whole point. Because if we don't express ourselves and show what we're working on and what we find, and I have there's rooms where people put in art that they found or whatever, right? Like things like that. If people get preachy like that, people will start doing that. Like, even if they mean well, it always happens. Someone will be like, oh, and then want to like do that. So even if people are not like that dream thing I had, not like that, people who are individuals and just sharing and expressing stuff and going, oh, I like that, or oh, look at my gardening and stuff like that. That's why I started this. So that's what my Discord is about. Ariana knows. Ariana helped me set up the thing, so Ariana knows set up the how it works. So if you guys would like that, you can always DM me about that. It's kind of hard because sometimes the link expires, so yeah, DM me if you're interested in our group. But yeah, be careful with groups, because if people are not helping each other or they're trying to do power plays, it always ends up being kind of like sad and a loss. But I did meet cool people in those things sometimes, so